Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Jeanette and a cat named Kitty Doyle. Jeanette and Kitty Doyle lived above the delicatessen, where every morning was a busy morning. In the kitchen, Mama made borscht and gefilte fish. At the front of the store, Papa wrapped and sold herring and pickles. Jeanette's big brothers hurried back and forth helping with the deliveries. It was Jeanette's job to sweep up so the floor was clean as a whistle for the customers. Kitty Doyle worked too. She was not only a beautiful cat, she was clever and she was the best mother on Selkirk Avenue. At Grosveney's delicatessen, not even the whisker of a mouse could be found. Kitty Doyle had another job. Every morning she walked Jeanette to school and every afternoon she walked her home. Jeanette, Papa said one morning, don't forget an extra sweater. The radio says more snow. I'm all bundled up, Papa. Come on, Kitty Doyle. It's time for school. Kitty Doyle toured fancy circles around Jeanette as they walked to Selkirk and Salter. Aberdeen School was just around the corner. This is as far as you go, Jeanette said. Don't stay outside to play. Go straight home. I'll see you after school. Papa's radio had been right. When school let out, a thick quilt of fresh snow covered the schoolyard. The children couldn't wait to make forts and snowmen. By the time the snowball fights were done, Jeanette and her friend Polly were soaked. Come to my house, Polly said. You can dry off there. My mom is making her special latex. They'll be ready by the time we get there. Latex. Jeanette could almost taste them. Polly's mother had a secret recipe. No one else's were quite as good. Leo, Jeanette called to her brother across the schoolyard. Tell Papa I'm going to Polly's for latex. Okay, kiddo, Leo called back. Wish you could bring some home for me. As the girls hurried to Polly's house, the snow began to fall more heavily. The frost on the kitchen windows was so thick you could hardly see out. Jeanette was taking the last crunchy bite when she suddenly remembered. Polly, I forgot all about Kitty Doyle. Jeanette jumped down from her chair and began pulling on her boots. Maybe she just went home, said Polly. No, Kitty Doyle. She wouldn't leave until I got there. Before Polly could say another word, Jeanette was out the door. How could she have forgotten? Kitty Doyle would never have forgotten about her. By the time she reached the schoolyard, she was almost out of breath, but she wouldn't stop. Floral Avenue was dark and empty and wide. A shabby tomcat yelled as Jeanette ran past. Not my Kitty Doyle, Jeanette thought. Around the last corner to Selkirk Avenue. Nothing there. She started up the street, but at the third building she stopped. Jeanette saw a little bump in the snow. She ran up and brushed off the snow with her thick woolen mitten. I knew you'd wait for me. I knew you wouldn't go home alone. Jeanette tucked Kitty Doyle deep in her coat. Be all right, she whispered. Please be all right. Don't be sick. Kitty Doyle was very still. When they got to the store, there was milk heating on the stove. Jeanette placed the sleepy Kitty Doyle on a chair next to the stove, carefully tucking her in Papa's sweater. Then she took honey from a jar and added it to the pot. She poured the sweet warm milk into a bowl. Jeanette knelt beside Kitty Doyle and let the cat lick the milk from her fingers. As Papa and Jeanette washed, Kitty Doyle finished the bowl of milk. That's good, she's eating. Now you come and eat something too. Papa brought 2 steaming bowls of chicken soup and set them on the table. Jeanette sat in front of hers and put her hands around the warm bowl. Kitty Doyle carefully washed its paw. A cat who washes its paws is not a sick cat. Are you sure, Papa? Jeanette asked. Am I sure? Sure, I'm sure. After Kitty Doyle had washed her face, Jeanette tucked the cat in her lap. Then Jeanette and Pop ate their soup and listened as the street cars rumbled down Selkirk Avenue, and the snow grew quiet. The only sound was Kitty Doyle, purring,